All right, we're going to look at number 12. We are looking at a chicken noodle soup, the can. Can, of course, is in the shape of your cylinder. So what we have is they've given us the surface area of the soup can being the 51.84 inches squared. And they also give us a diameter of the can of 3 inches. They want us to find what? They want us to find the height. Okay. So we're going to come over here, but we want to find the height, so we'll make that H. They gave us the diameter of 3, so we'll put that in. And they gave us the total surface area. All right. So we're going to take our, so you can see it's just above the application thing there on the left. We're going to copy down our surface area formula. Our surface area is equal to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi rh. All we're going to do is sub in what they gave us. And the formula is our blueprint. The formula is going to lead us, okay, to what we need to do. Surface area, we'll replace that with 51.84. 2 pi, all right, we need our radius. What's our radius? 1.5, so 1.5, whoops. Plus 2 times pi times radius times our height. That is our unknown, so we'll leave that as an H. If you would prefer to put an X in its place, you may do that as well. So what is your, so we're going to focus on that right-hand side. What do we need to do to the right-hand side?
Convert it to a whole number.
Okay, we're going to do that after we do, well, that's going to come second. First thing we need to do is what? Yeah, you need to find what those are, right? We need to do what? You need to clean it up. Okay, so clean it up for me. Find those values. All right, so when we clean those up, find those actual values, we get 14.14 plus 9.42H. Then at this point, this is nothing more than a linear problem, and you would solve it like you would solve for X. So what's the first thing you're going to do? Subtract. So you would do that. You subtract that. And I think, let's see, around 37.7. And then you would divide. And let's hope you got 4.
Wait, I got 27.
27 for what? So when you come over here to find your lateral area, oops, hold on. There we go. That slant height, okay, is it's coming in. It's just really the height of your triangle for your lateral side. So that's all that is. Okay. So let's come over here to 1 and let's use our formula. So lateral area, 1/2. Why is the 1/2 there? Because the bases are triangles, right? So that should make sense. Oh, I need a half in there. And, okay, so then what is our slant height? And what is the perimeter of the base? 30. So you can multiply all that out. $187.2. Now, the area of, this time just one base, right? So the 2 goes away because we just have the 1. So in this case, what is the shape of our base? It's a square, so we're going to find area of the square. So that would be what? 8 times the 8, or we do 8 squared, right? 64. And then we're going to add them together. So you should get 251.2 meters squared. Okay. So kind of what's nice about your pyramid is you don't have that kind of that distance anymore that you were looking for between the two bases. You kind of get a little bit of a break from that. Let's look at 3. So 3 is also a square prism. So I'm going to come in here and I want you to do the same. I want you to kind of highlight the base.
We have to do a diagram.
I don't know, do we?
Yes.
No. Yeah, so let's try it. So we've got our lateral area. So 1/2. What is the slant height? You don't know it. Okay. Let's draw it in. We'll draw it in from tip to base. Is there something we can use to actually find that? Yeah. So can we complete this? Can we make a right triangle? Yeah. So we're going to take so you see the 3 feet is actually the height of the pyramid itself. He hits right in the middle. So we're going to connect those two with another side. What is the length of the side we just drew in there?
8.
The height hits right in the middle, right? So if we're just going from that height over, it will be half, so that will be 8. Okay? So find your slant height for me. All right, so hopefully when you found your C, did you get an 8.5?
Yes.
Okay, very good. So we're going to proceed with that. So then that would be 1/2 times the 8.5 and the perimeter of your base. Yeah. Yes, it is 64. All right, that would just be your 16 times 4. $272. The area of your base. So you have 16, so you have 4 sides of 16. 16 times 4 would be 60. Right? That's area. Remember perimeter, and be careful because they were making that mistake today. Remember, perimeter is we add them, whereas area we multiply them. Okay, so the area of this base is basically going to be 16 squared or 256. So your surface area is the 272 plus the 256. 528 feet squared. So your cone, again, your cone and cylinder, that's the same thing going on. Since we don't have the 2 bases, remember that this will also have that slant height, okay? Because he's got to get to that point. So as you can see, your lateral area, to find the lateral area of the cone is pi times r times the slant height. And then, of course, we just have one base of area, and of course, area of your circle is your pi r squared. All right, so let's do 7. So we have our lateral area, pi, what's our radius?
7.
And our slant height?
11.4.
11.4. So multiply that out for me, see what you get. $250.7, and then the area of your base. Pi r squared, so pi 7 squared, so 49 pi. Uh, 153.94. And then add them up. So approximately 404.64 meters squared. Okay, so the way we attack a composite shape in 3-dimensional is in this case, we found the area of the cone to be 1,976.06, and then we found the surface area of our cylinder to give us 3,097.61. All right, now, here's your next step. So, let's say this is in the shape of a little hut. So let's say you wanted to buy yourself a little hut that you could go in and meditate, listen to music, and just kind of chill out. So what you want to do is you want to paint this new fancy hut that you just bought. Okay? So if you want to paint this thing, are you going to paint everything that we found? No, because what happens when we put the cone on top of the cylinder? No, yeah. So do you see those two bases anymore? No. The only base you see is the bottom. So rule of thumb is that when you're doing these composites, if you've got sides that are touching each other, as in this case, those two bases, now you have to subtract them back out. Okay? Because now you don't see them. All you see is the cone, this part of the cone, and this part of the cylinder plus the base. Okay? So we're going to subtract that out. So in the process of doing this, you have already found the area of those two bases, or the area of the bases, which were 907.92. How many are we taking out? We're taking out 2 because they're touching. Yeah, those guys that are touching. So we're going to take out 2 of those. So we multiply that by 2. So we are going to subtract out 1,815.84. Oh, tell me what you got when you added those two together. 5,000 what? 5,073.67. So now we're going to subtract out those sides that are not lateral anymore, which is the 1815.84. That should give you a final surface area of 3,257.83. Stop. Okay.